All right, ladies, it's Coach V, your new love strategist. Welcome to this week's MIT training video, of course, motivation, inspiration, and transformation. This is your weekly dose to see what I can help you all with this week. Today's topic, I feel, is one that is going to hit home because what I do know is if your love life has ever felt like deja vu, as in, like, if you've ever said, I think I've been here before, or why do I keep ending up in the same situations with different men, then this video is for you. And what I want to talk about is how to break the cycle so that you can finally align with the love that you've been praying, wishing, and hoping for. All right. So, here's why your love life might feel like a little bit of deja vu. Here's also the truth that many people won't tell you. The thing is, you do not attract what it is you want. I know that is what we would like to believe. I think that would make things a whole lot easier, right? But you attract what you are. And more importantly, what you will attract when it comes to men and relationships is ultimately what you believe, whatever it is that you deserve. So this means that even when your mouth is saying, I want a healthy relationship, your heart might still be choosing chaos, confusion, or crumbs because deep down, that's what you're used to. Again, going back to your past, whatever it is that happened there, that is going to affect your thought process, also your self esteem and your self worth. So that is why you might still be choosing things that go against what it is that your mouth is actually professing. Heart and mind are, of course, tied together. Patterns do not lie at the end of the day. What they do is they actually reveal what you've normalized. Your patterns reveal what you have been conditioned to expect, and they also will tell you where your heart needs healing. I speak about this a lot. I know I've spoken about it before, where I talk about that journey that I had to go on. It's even one of the chapters I talk about in No More Lonely Nights. Let's take a field trip. And I encourage you to go back and think about your past few relationships. Think about the men that you dated, that you were romantically involved with, intimate with, whatever the case might be, and really ask yourself, what was it about that person that you wanted, that you liked, that you thought that they were going to be the perfect person for you? Because you're going to get some answer as to what is missing internally as to why that person fit at that moment. It was interesting when I myself did that after going through a bad breakup back in 2017 that y'all have heard me talk about repeatedly, that I was like, okay, this is a pattern where I'm finding myself heartbroken, frustrated, disappointed because another relationship did not work out and it did not go the way that I thought it was going to. And yes, at that time, my mouth was saying one thing, but my heart was craving and doing different things, right? I kept finding myself repeating these patterns, and it really led me to take that field trip, to go on that journey. And it was very reflective, it was very introspective, it was very interesting, also a little bit disheartening and saddening, if I can be honest, because it revealed so much to me about myself. So I want you to think about what is going on with you, what is going on, what has happened when it comes to the past few men that you dated or that you thought you were going to end up dating or that you thought you were going to end up with, and find out where your heart needs healing. And let me tell you this, when the patterns keep on playing out, whether you have repeatedly been ghosted or coming across men who are expecting you to put forth all the effort and do all the initiating, maybe the ones who are love bombing again, ghosting, whether they're inconsistent, low effort men, the men who are only wanting sex, whatever, it's not the devil, it's not the dating pool, it is the programming that you have not yet interrupted. That's the bad news. The good news is that you can rewire it, okay? You're not stuck at the end of the day. So let me tell you three common patterns that keep you stuck. These are the three emotional patterns that I see the most in the women that I coach, and I want you to see if any of these actually sound familiar. One, the savior pattern. Have you found yourself always attracting broken men that you feel the need to fix? Maybe you see their potential, you're loyal to a flaw, and you overgive in hopes that that man will rise up and that they'll actually become who you believe they could be. He's not there yet. Again, the potential is there. That is what you are in love with, and that is what keeps you there, right? This comes from a nurturing spirit, yes, but also from a place of unworthiness. You feel valuable anytime that you are needed. Anytime there is something going on where a man needs something, and maybe it's even some form of assignment in some way, you're thinking you're supposed to help him. You're thinking that your love and your loyalty and your dedication is what's going to help him finally become the man that you believe him to be. That's not love, that is emotional labor. Or maybe you've realized the self betrayal pattern. This is where you minimize your needs, you ignore your gut, and you stay too long in situations that do not serve you. And it's because you fear being alone more than you fear being mistreated. That is the problem. This pattern normally stems from abandonment wounds and a deep rooted fear that you won't be chosen unless you earn love. So you feel like you have to do, give, perform, all of these things. But that love has to be earned through the love that has to be earned through sacrifice. It isn't kingdom. That is the kind of love that is codependency. And we're saying no to that, right? We're not doing that. We're not. And if you've done it before, you're not doing it anymore. Okay. The other pattern that I see a lot with my clients is the performance pattern. You try to be everything: funny, chill, supportive, sexy, spiritual, good cook, whatever, all in hopes that he will pick you. There are some women, this is where they do the most when it comes to sex. It's funny because on my relationship readiness assessment, one of the questions is, what is your current stance on premarital sex? I don't judge. I am not here to tell any woman. Yes, I only work with Christian women. I am not here to tell anyone stop having sex. Premarital sex is a sin. This is why you can't get a man. We're not doing that, okay? I do want to know their why and where they currently stand, because it does say a lot. It's interesting because there are several women who on the assessment, they answer and they say that they're struggling in that area because they really enjoy sex. And I'm like, okay, that's something we'll talk about in their analysis session. When we end up having the analysis session and we talk about that answer, the majority of the women who say they're struggling with premarital sex because they really enjoy it, when we start talking, and especially once they actually come into my breakout coaching program, I end up finding out what ends up being uncovered is not even that they enjoy sex. No, there are some women yelling, yeah, sex is to be enjoyed, right? Okay, let's hopefully do it within marriage, of course. But of course, we're human, right? So I get that for many people, sex is truly enjoyed. But for a lot of us, for a lot of the women that I work with, it's not that they enjoy sex. They want to appear to be very sexual in order to keep a man, in order to not be left or rejected. And they are willingly giving their bodies in hopes that they are chosen, which means that they are what? They are performing. They're doing these things in hopes that a man will pick them or not leave them. And if this is you, I understand, but deep down, when you're performing, what it is that you're terrified that just being you, that just won't be enough. So you stay on all the time. You're always on. You're ready to do whatever in order to make sure that that man is happy, and you're willing to fulfill, pretty much audition for the role that you're hoping to eventually get. You're not receiving love, you're auditioning for it. And that, my love, is exhausting. I've been there. Not only is it exhausting, it is also unsustainable. So let's wrap this up and let me tell you what it takes to actually break the pattern. It can be broken. Not only can it be broken, it has to be broken if you are serious about getting to where you want to be. This is about rewiring the emotional cycles that are blocking love in your life. I want you to hear this with your heart, okay? Patterns don't change because you wish them away. I'll go a little deeper. They're also not going to change just because you try to pray them away. They change when you get honest, when you get healed, and when you get strategic. So again, this is where I say you have to go back and you have to identify where this pattern started. If you have your copy of No More Lonely Nights, you'll realize that the book is divided into 4 parts. It starts with household, then it goes to habits. And your habits are going to help you look at a lot of the patterns and things. And from the household section, you're going to realize, wow, I didn't even realize I had these patterns, these habits, and these cycles that are all tied to my household, my childhood, and my upbringing. You have to identify where and how this pattern started. You also have to forgive whoever taught you it was normal. I talk about daddy issues a lot, but I find it very interesting that a lot of the women who I'm working with right now, one on one and individually, we're determining that a lot of the things that they were taught actually came from their moms. Mama trauma is real, right? Like I said, daddy issues, I understand, but mama trauma, like moms determine how we as women view ourselves. They determine our actions, our self esteem, our self worth, how we see ourselves physically, all of these different things. You have to forgive whoever ingrained certain things in you that have made you the woman that you have been up until now. Also, forgiving yourself for the things that you have done, allowed, and accepted up until now. And then you need to create a new standard, one that is going to be rooted in self worth, not survival. This is where the inner work begins. This is where it all starts. This is what I do with my clients every single week in Breakout, in New Heart Academy, in my Kingdom Love Mastery program. And if you're ready to stop attracting the same story with a different name, then here's what I want you to do next. If you haven't already, start by taking the relationship readiness assessment, because what it's going to do, it's going to show where your heart currently stands and what patterns may still be running the show. All right? Here's the link. Do that at bit.ly/Coach VRRA. Go ahead and take that and let's see what's going on. Then, if you know that you're ready for transformation, not just free videos and content and tips and prayers and stuff like that, book your love transformation meetup session. We'll chat sometime next week for about 30 minutes. We're going to create the dating strategy you've been missing. We're going to identify that target problem area, and then we're going to create a strategy. You're going to get your actionable step. And then we're also going to see how you and I can possibly walk this thing out together. Because I want you to realize this. You're not cursed, okay? You're not unlucky. God's not withholding anything. You're not being punished. You're just conditioned. But every single pattern can be broken when your healing becomes non-negotiable, okay? So you've got this, and I'm here for you. I've got you. And until next time, keep your heart open. Keep those standards high, all right? Coach V is here for you at the end of the day. Enjoy your weekend, and I do hope to talk to you soon.